Real talk, raw faith, stay unfiltered. Welcome back to Echoes Unfiltered. I'm your host, Sam Stratton. Today we have 3 people with us. We're up doing the second year of our, reunion, I'd call it, but only 3 of us showed up this year besides me. But we're up here at Stratton Springs again and sitting around and decided to hook up the podcast equipment and have a little conversation. So with that, I'm going to introduce who's here. First guy we have is Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
You really expect him to answer?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
And the second guy we have is Riley.
Hey.
There's Riley and
Yep, that's
Dille.
me.
And me,
Hey, Sam.
your host.
Thanks for hosting. I mean, I think for full disclosure, everyone should know that we just ate a large meal of hamburgers and whatnot. So
Yes, the whatnots especially were
the
delicious.
whatnots were good, but we're all kind of like lethargic at this point. At least I am.
We are a little bit. That's okay. Maybe we could take a nap after we're done. So we had a lot of conversations last time about Ramadi and some about Afghanistan from the guys that had gone there. But, sitting around here this weekend, we've had a lot of different conversations. And one of the ones that kind of stuck in my head is I was talking to Dille, and I said, has it struck you yet what we went through in Ramadi? What we did, where we were in the world. We were in the most dangerous place in the world for a year of our life. And while we were there, I don't think I really felt it. I mean, obviously I felt the danger, but looking back 20 years later, it's really surreal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as soon as I got back, and many, many times since then, I think about it. I'm like, man, I can't believe I was there.
Experienced it and made it home.
Can't believe I went through that and experienced it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you're there, it's like you get used to it. It's like your daily routine.
Yeah, what was your thought process
I
like
did
when we were
that.
over there?
I mean,
Well, I didn't have an excuse to say like, well, I didn't volunteer for this. Every day I'd just tell myself I volunteered for this, so you did this to yourself. But every day was a new adventure. I was young. I enjoyed it to a certain extent.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, what about you?
It was scary.
Yeah, it was.
That was real scary. Like I was fresh out of basic and AIT and everything. So
Oh, yeah, I remember you showing up at NTC is the first time I met you, and some crisp new uniforms. Hadn't even got a chance to get dirt on them yet.
right.
Oh,
Yep. And then just finding out you're going overseas into one of the most deadliest places on earth at that time.
Mm-hmm. And I've said this, I believe I said it in my book, but I remember sitting out in the smoking area talking to Captain Keyser. He came over and sat next to me. And he looked at me and he's like, well, Sergeant Stratton, the place we're going, that ain't good. And I'm like, well, where is it? He's like, Ramadi. And I hadn't heard of Ramadi then. I mean, I had no idea what Ramadi was. But he's like, starts talking about it. And I was like, wow, that doesn't sound like a fun deployment. And then I get home and I see a Time magazine. And on the cover of the magazine is Ramadi, Iraq, the most dangerous place in the world. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Get to go have some fun in Ramadi.
Yeah.
Yeah. When all is said and
makes you
done,
feel good,
if you were to take me back to that moment where I had to volunteer, I'd do it all over again. There's no doubt in my mind I would do it again. As much as it sucked, as horrible as it was. What about you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that was one of the things I've done in my life that I'm most proud of, and not a lot of people can say they went through that experience, So I'm proud of the fact that I'm one of what percent? 1-2% of people that have done things like that. So yeah. And if, I were going to choose to go somewhere, I would rather go to somewhere that, dangerous,
Right.
than where we would be most needed, like a Ramadi.
Oh, yeah. We all were.
I mean, granted, yes, I was a little nervous.
What about you, Riley? What you felt when you got there? You do it all over again.
I guess I would definitely do it all over again, knowing that it was a chance that I took. Like, I called up Sergeant Hintz, and I was like, I will change jobs. I will, what do you need me to do?
Oh, that's right. You had a different MOS before you came
Yep.
over to us, didn't you? What were you?
I was supply and armor.
Jump from supply to combat engineer?
Yeah.
That's not a smart choice.
It is not. It was not. But yeah, exactly. But I mean, natural progression, I guess. Desperation. It worked great for my family. It was the right time for my family to make that happen. And 9 times out of 10, in the military, you don't get to pick your timing.
Well, explain to our listeners why you chose that time and why you chose Ramadi.
Sure. So my wife was called up for deployment about 6 months before I started looking for my deployment. And I started thinking about, a year for her, then possibly a year for me down the road. And, it just wasn't a lot of time for us to be together. So I made the determination I wasn't going to sit at home and just be a military spouse. I was going to get overseas the same time she was there and get that over with so we could start our family, start our life.
Yeah, well, otherwise it probably would have been she got back, you'd be leaving, then you get back, and she may be leaving shortly after that. It's it's a revolving door.
Right, exactly. And it worked out great for us.
Yeah.
In that respect.
Now, is your wife still in the military?
Nope. She got out as soon as she found out that she was pregnant with our oldest.
Okay.
I finished my contract up, and we both got out in the first contract.
Josh, tell us how you found out about Ramadi.
Well, being fresh out of basic, I went to the duty station in Dodgeville, Wisconsin, and went to go meet a guy named Sergeant Stoltz at the time. And my recruiter brought me up. I had all my paperwork and everything ready just to go active duty into Fort Knox, Kentucky.
And this was right after AIT.
Right. So I was thinking I was going to go active. Well, I did go active because I found out as soon as I got to the duty station when I handed Sergeant Stoltz my paperwork and said, "Hey, I want to go active." He's like, "Yep, you're going to Iraq." Rip. Just
ripped up your paperwork
ripped
and
up
said
all
you're
my
going to Iraq.
paperwork, and he's like, "You're going to Iraq, bud." Yeah, it was.
You're going to war.
But
I remember those conversations.
yeah, right.
Stoltz,
Stoltz,
thanks
Hintz.
for easing me into that, Sergeant Hintz.
right.
Whatever.
Whatever, Stoltz.
I know, and I've mentioned this before too, but I know when I got to Ramadi and we started doing route clearance, I was so freaking scared. I was scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
But I did the best I could do not to show my squad that I was scared. Because I thought if I show these guys that I'm freaking out, they're not going to trust me if I make a decision out in the field. So, Josh, you were in my squad. Do you think I showed that I was scared when we started, or I was holding it together? Because I was trying to hold it together.
You're doing a pretty good job holding it together. I mean, we could hear you crying at night. But, I mean, other than that, good job.
That's because Dille would never leave me alone.
Please,
Dille, I don't want to cuddle tonight. Go away. It's not that cold in here. He'd get up, he'd turn the air conditioner down to like 58 and say, "It's cold. Can I cuddle?"
I would just wait for you to get cold.
Yeah, I say we had a pretty big room in Ramadi, and there was only us three squad leaders in
Do
there.
what you got to do.
That was kind of nice. And then the rest of the guys.
No, I took up my whole
That's
quarter
true.
of the room with the other sergeants that were in my room.
Oh, you had 3 sergeants in your room, didn't you?
Yep, and I was a specialist, so I took up my whole quarter of the room with my bunk.
You did. I remember that. Well, and most of us over there, and I think probably a lot of guys that have been overseas, if they stayed in any one place for a length of time, had some sort of setup in their rooms where they could have like their own little private area. Because you can't live with a bunch of other guys for a year and not ever just be alone. I remember I had blankets hanging down the side of my bunk, and I had my little computer in there. I could go and watch movies. It was like, or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody needs
Yeah.
me time for sanity. I mean, you're together all day, all night. You're on mission together. I mean, it's like, man, I just need to
Go eat meals together. I remember all the way back to basic training, that was the one thing that I missed. Just being able to be alone, jump in your car and go drive and not be with anybody else. Or it's that constant people around you, which is good in a war zone, obviously. But yeah, it gets old. You need private time.
I don't know. Even in the barracks, I don't know if you remember when we were at the Fort McCoy barracks, everybody had like a blanket or a towel.
Oh,
like
yeah.
every bunk. And first sergeant comes down and he's like, "I'm not having a tent city down here. Guys, take this down." I mean, it looked like a slum encampment.
I remember we got
something
to
like that.
McCoy. I was advanced party, and I walked into these World War II barracks, and they got all the toilets with no dividers in between them. And I'm like,
Mhm.
there is no way I'm going to spend this much time here and be talking to my buddy every time I sit down. It's just not going to happen. That's private time. So I went to the PX, and all I could find was like slightly opaque shower curtains. And I got 550 cord and hung up shower curtains in between each one. You could still see that there was a person in there.
Well, yeah, you were hitting feet.
There was
Yes.
some semblance of
Yeah,
privacy.
Feet in that
but-
one, feet in that one. Feet. Oh, this one's open. I mean, just, that's why even today, I still lock the door in the bathroom if I'm the only one home and my
Mhm.
house is locked. I will still lock the door when I go in the bathroom. You know why? Because I don't want to fight a robber with peanut butter cheeks.
Right.
Just not. Nobody wants to do that.
I mean, who does?
Maybe.
I mean, if you do, you're
Let me
kinda
finish
weird,
before
I
you
feel.
attack.
I'm almost done.
Wait, hold on. Hold that thought.
I think those are the best conversations I have, though. Like I'm in the fire service now, and when I was working in 24-hour shifts, like people would walk in, sorry, you're in the bathroom. I'll go find another bathroom. And you get the other guys that they'd giggle. How was your day? How are you?
I remember watching two guys that were in my squad. One was on the toilet, and there was no walls or anything. One was on the toilet, and the other one was eating candy, pacing back and forth in front of him while they had a conversation. I'm like, what is wrong with you guys? Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what you get used to, what your norm is,
That's for sure.
and what you can tolerate.
Well, I mean, those barracks,
Yep.
I mean, they did look like a prison inside, so.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
I remember Shannon and Cormacan finally got to let loose. I think it was on the 240 on one of our missions, and they were goofing off and having a good time. And Cormacan's like, "I'm scared, Shannon." And he goes, "Oh, it's okay." He put his hand up, and they're like holding hands, and Cormacan's shooting at people, and it's like, what am I witnessing? I'm just gonna face forward now. I'm just gonna face forward. Shooting at people, and it's like, what am I?
And I know the other thing we were talking about last night, Riley, before you were here, was that that dump truck bomb that hit Mobile and blew up. Were you outside to watch that one go off?
I was the one that lifted the roofs off of all the hooches. I was inside. I was
Yes.
on my bunk at that time.
I was too. I remember feeling the concussion from it, and then there was dust coming down off everything from the ceiling. And Jeff, you said you went outside because there was a second IED.
There was
Our first one.
There was an initial one, a small one that went off like underneath the bridge. So everybody went outside, of course, to see what was going on. So we were all looking, like there was a whole bunch of us just looking that way.
Wasn't there chlorine in that one? Because I thought you could just smell like a pool after that one went off.
Yeah, that had a layer of the chlorine, then it had the explosives on top.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were hitting us with chlorine.
Hey, real quick, if you're enjoying these stories from Iraq, you can find some of them in my book, Echoes from the Sandbox, now available on Amazon. It's about our deployment to Ramadi during some of the worst fighting of the war, the missions we ran, the men I served with, and the things that stick with you long after you come home. All right, let's get back to the conversation.
I do remember seeing chlorine clouds, like actual clouds, floating through the camp. And it's like, I didn't feel too threatened because there's the cloud. I'm over here. I didn't go into the cloud. I avoided it, but that did happen, yeah. I mean, I could walk along at the pace of the cloud and just watch it and be like, hey,
It's coming
watch
right
out
for
the
us.
cloud. Oh no, we're under attack. Walk.
You can see him, though.
That's
the
for your
important
benefit, man. I can't talk without using my hands. If like you tied my hands down, I would.
thing. That's all we had to do? Where was this information 20 years
know.
ago?
No, you know this. You think I'm going to give that to you? 20 years ago?
I can't
No,
believe it's
I
been
don't think
20
so.
years.
Yeah, well, Jeff and I were just talking the other day because we were up at Fort McCoy 20 years ago right now. It was like April. We got we were supposed to go to that EOCA class and whatever else. But yeah, so 20 years ago
Mhm.
right now, we were up at McCoy.
Yeah.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. So we were there from like April to we did
Yeah,
the
you
regular
guys
one
showed up
start,
in July.
the July. So April, May, June, July. Oops, I miscounted on my fingers. April, May, June, July. So yeah, 4 months. And that was the best. I would like to thank Uncle Sam for paying us for 4 months to play volleyball and go to the gym.
Yeah.
I feel like I
That
can
was a good time. We
disclose
didn't
that
do a
now,
whole
20
lot. I
years
mean,
later. Well, we were supposed to go to that class, like you said, and we couldn't for basically technical reasons because the plane broke down.
Yes, and you can't miss a day of this class.
Coming out of the one
Yes.
runway.
So we stayed in a barracks in Fort McGuire. We each had our own rooms. They were nice. It was nice barracks in that one compared to the ones we stayed in when we mobbed. But our platoon sergeant was an E5. Jeff was a staff sergeant. I was a staff sergeant. Lessick was sergeant first class, and then we had Mink as a lieutenant. Mink, or was it? No, it was lieutenant third
Yeah,
platoon.
Mink was there, was he?
What
There
his
was a
name?
lieutenant there, I remember.
It'll come to me.
I don't remember.
No, that was
That's
second
sad.
platoon. Androff.
Noise, is it?
Androff.
No.
Yeah, Lieutenant Androff. And Mink.
Androff.
Yes, sorry, LT.
Sorry, Lieutenant Androff.
You're welcome.
Or Jason, or whatever your name is.
Yeah, but I can make myself sound better.
I mean, Sam hasn't in it. Function.
Up to you. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, saying that. Yeah. And then they'll be like, yeah, listen to what this.
So anyway, I said all that. So we had the E5 platoon sergeant, and we all outranked him. But he was in charge of the broken people that were staying there. So he's like, we got to get up and go to formation at this time. I think we went to formation one time. We're like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. Well, we got to do PT. Yeah, we'll go to the gym. Every one of us outrank you. I'm not answering to you. We worked out
They
every
tried
day.
to
We went
get us
the
to
gym
play
and
with the other children, but we wouldn't.
And we did a lot of karaoke.
Yeah, I mean, we actually did stuff. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I actually did.
We got some things done,
battle
but
staff,
it was...
Of course. I mean, we did some stuff. I mean, the point, like you said, was to go to that school.
We tried.
We didn't go to the school, so we're just there. And they wouldn't send us home.
And then they were going to send us back to Dodgeville to stay there and help at Dodgeville until we left. We got all the way to the gate in our van, and somebody called down there and turned us around and said, they can't leave. They got to stay here. So, yeah, good times. For the first time, we drove to Al Assad and saw the Burger King, Green Bean. I think they have a Pizza Hut. Well, we had to buy steaks from there to bring back. Once in a while, we go to Al Assad, we'd buy steaks.
I mean, it was like heaven, Elsa. Even though you'd go to the Subway or whatever it was. Oh, we don't have meat.
Give you a veggie sub.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But just give me whatever you got. It still tasted good.
Well, our back table was a poker table. Remember the guys before us had put green felt on it, and I think you redid all the markers on there, markings of all the cards. It was neat. We had a lot of poker games.
Have you ever talked about staying in the dam?
Haditha? No, not much.
I mean, that was like the coolest place.
It was very humid.
Yeah. Except for when you went in the basement because it smelled so horrible.
Well, it was like, yeah, you're in a dam. I mean, it's very dank.
Oh, I do remember them walking, a bunch of guys. They had arrested out. They all had the goggles on, but they had the felt stuff still over them, like the cover, so they couldn't see.
Goggles
they were all
were
tied up,
painted,
and they were shuffling to the porta potties.
Shannon and I were out doing maintenance on one of the RGs, and then they were walking the prisoners in. So we were goofing off, and we jumped in front of the guys that had the prisoners, and booga. And they're like, "You should be dead right now," and they just all laughed. Like every single one of them laughed, and it was hilarious. And I'm like,
the prisoners,
well, not the prisoners. They didn't laugh.
How do you translate?
We
didn't
didn't
think that
translate
was
that,
funny,
I guess.
Not if you couldn't see.
know, man. Even if I were a prisoner, I'd probably think that was kind of funny.
And you're a prisoner. I mean,
the
you
goggles.
know you're not going anywhere.
Never
good.
mind.
I plant one IED and I'm in jail.
I forgot.
Well, if they're digging on the road, yeah. Yeah, if they were planting flowers, you're supposed to leave them alone.
Hostile action. Yeah. But I mean, that was just a really cool place. I mean, it was an actual working dam.
Then when second platoon went there, they all went down to the lake and went swimming. They were chilling out on the beach until the Marines came in full kit, and they're like, you guys can't be out here.
Yeah.
So they all got back their stuff back on and went back into the dam.
Or when that helicopter crashed,
Yeah, that was.
and then that was up at the dam, on the dam.
Pilot went down.
Yeah,
and
pilot
near the
went down,
dam.
and the lieutenant colonel, with all of his IBA and everything, swam down and got two of them out.
But I think somebody actually got sucked into the dam.
Yeah, the driver.
Pilot?
But
Or pilot.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad war stuff that happens, but the dam itself was pretty cool. Like they had the chow hall up towards the top. You'd go up to the top, and then you could actually go up on the top, like look at the reservoir and the river. It was just
Yeah, but everything we got there was expired.
Didn't matter. I remember, I still tell my kids this story that they had so many things in their chow hall, like the Otis Spunkmeyer muffins and whatnot. And I had that flight suit on, and I just started jamming things in my pockets. And like this 20-something-year-old Marine, like ready to fight, comes and starts yelling at me. And at that point, I'm like, well, okay, well, he's gonna win or I'm gonna win, but we're gonna play. Like these are my muffins now.
these are my Otis
Someone that was
Spunkmeyers.
higher up than him, the Marine, looked at him and looked at me, and he's like, "Son, just give him the
Yeah.
damn muffins." Like he saw, like I was ready to fight.
Well, that and look at what we're doing, and for them.
They knew what we were doing.
We're up there clearing roads for them.
Yeah, we don't get 3 good meals a day, right? We're sitting in a truck, so
Yeah.
these are going to keep me alive right here. See these little Otis Spunkmeyers. You're ready to go to.
Who was all on that mission that we went out by Najaf, where we had a single strand of concertina wire around us? We got stuck out there for a couple days. No bathrooms.
I think I was on
Yeah.
for that one. We started like in our truck, like started asking about food, like, hey,
Yep.
who has what? Like put it all in a pile, and this is all gonna go to the buffalo, and we're gonna start rationing food.
And then we started sending messages up. Hey, we're getting low on food, low on ammo. You're low on ammo. Well, maybe. Maybe not.
I didn't hear any contact.
You can't from there.
So what are you doing?
But yeah, water and food was becoming a concern for sure at that point. But I don't remember why we got stuck out there so long. But it was a couple days we were there. And then we left there and we started going north, I think, and got like to a certain bridge and turned around and RTB. Was
Because
it?
the bridge
I don't remember.
wasn't there. I remember coming up and like the bridge was missing or something.
That would be a good reason not to
I
take
remember
it.
something
Yeah,
like
I think-
that. Yeah.
You remember the time we went from the dam and I believe we were going up around the mountainside and something was already or exploded there. Something already hit and we couldn't go any further, so we had to turn everything around just on that that peak on that mountain. Or
I don't remember that one. I remember
the edge
going
of it.
on a super long mission, and I remember seeing yellow and green, like bright yellow and green iguanas running across the roads. And we came across this berm that went across the road and all the way across the desert, and we were supposed to keep going. Well, a couple of our vehicles might have made it over that. The Huskies would have never made it over that berm. The Buffalo probably would have made it, but the RGs and stuff, I think they would have got high centered on that stuff. And I remember the battalion or whoever we were answering to at the time made us sit there forever. I'm like, come on. I mean, either I think they had any dozers to move, but I had no idea why that berm was across the desert. It was just blocking everything. You guys remember that one?
Mm-mm.
Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe it didn't happen.
Could have been hallucinating with the
No, that was
with
the
the
purple
green
dinosaur.
iguanas. Oh yeah. Then you definitely.
Nobody did it better.
Why don't you tell
than
us
me
about that
when
one,
I went
Josh?
off the road.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah,
When we were
I
coming
mean,
back
we were
from
going.
it.
We were going over 20 hours on that mission.
We were coming back towards Camp Ramadi from like the hit area. Is that the same time when
I
you
believe so.
went rambling off?
I thought I saw an ID out there.
Because I was in
No,
I was in the lead vehicle in charge of the Huskies. I'm quoting with my fingers. You probably can't see it. Anyway, Wang, I don't know if you want to tell that story.
yeah. Well, we were just going down the road, and then I was tired as hell. I mean, we were coming off a long mission. The sun was coming up, and I just was sitting there. I was driving, and
Well, yeah.
I saw a flash of light. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" I started hearing this rumbling. Brr, 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 brr. I was like, "What the?" And then all I see is this flash of light, and then I'm at the bottom of this ravine. I'm looking back up, and I see the whole convoy just back up on top of the road, and I'm like,
What are they all doing
okay,
up there?
Yeah, I just turn it. I just four wheel that sucker right back up into place, and I was like, oh, for like maybe 3 minutes, nobody said anything over the radio. I was like, did I get away with that?
Well, let me tell you, you did not.
Yeah, and then I hear old man Sergeant Clark come over the radio and just say, find out what the wrongs with your
The driver.
husky.
Well,
The nut behind the
The
wheel.
driver, yeah.
I mean, I'll admit, I was probably asleep at the time in
good.
the lead vehicle.
You weren't the only one.
Fortunately,
Yeah,
my driver was not. I would estimate probably 80 to 90% of that patrol at that time was asleep, including yourself.
Just dozed.
And I got some kind of message from Clark, like, "Hey, what's your husky driver doing?" And I'm like, waking up, looking around, and I see you, like we're on the road. You're like 100 meters off into the desert on my right. I'm like, well, I think he saw something out in the desert, or he's checking it
It
out.
looks a little
there, Sergeant
odd out there.
Clark.
You want to just go make sure it was an IED off to the side.
I want to be extra cautious.
Yeah, but then he goes, Husky 2 or Husky 1, whatever I was at the time, and he's like, did you fall asleep? Roger.
What's
But
he
it's
gonna
like,
do?
what do you do?
Yeah.
The husky driver's asleep. What are you gonna do? It's like, well, should we chase him down and try to ram his vehicle? Like, what are you gonna do?
Well, you remember when Foyt used to fall asleep every once in a while, and then you sit there and throw water bottles at the husky and sit there and try to wake him up, but it just wasn't waking him up.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, you did, because you were like going full bore, like you were not slowing down.
I didn't see it going down. I only saw me coming
I
up.
just remember you like
So-
getting further and further, but kind of paralleling us,
Yeah.
like going away. And I'm like, and I remember like having a conversation in the vehicle, like, how are we going to stop this guy? We're going to have to drive out there and like literally ram his vehicle or something.
You're lucky there was no lake or river or big wadi out there.
I know.
No, it was flat, wide open.
But that was the only time that I actually like fell asleep and went off road. Any other time I stayed in line and
No.
it was pretty fine.
I was sleeping, but I stayed in
I
line.
mean, that was a brutal. That was very long. Like I said, everyone was probably like eyelids half open for that whole.
As
Trip
scared as
back,
you could
so.
be about the bombs that may be around you, you'd still not off. I mean, even as
Oh.
as you were.
And also, that wasn't
A high
dangerous
area,
area.
yeah.
That wasn't an area.
That was more of a traveling back and kind of checking as we go, but not the 3 miles an hour.
right.
But I've never had a dream that's been so real since that point.
What was your dream? That you drove off the road?
That I was driving through the desert in my husky. No, that was
That's exactly what happened.
I still don't remember the ride down, but I remember the flash of light and the drive back up.
I just wonder how long you were out before you drifted off.
The alignment was really good on that Husky.
I could just see me in the vehicle just banging around in there.
You could have been out for like 15 minutes before you actually just like the road curved or something because it was really straight. You're just like drifting off. It was fun.
I would have liked to
Yeah,
seen that
yeah.
from another point of view.
From my point of view, I really thought I was hallucinating.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like you're so tired where you're hallucinating kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Well, we did every once in a while. I swear I saw McDonald's after we went to like Kuwait and stuff like that. I swear, like every once in a while, I'd be like, "Hey,
It was a mirage. It was a Mirage. I did see a quick trip, though.
yeah,
Or a
yeah."
quick star for you Iowa people.
So that was a memory I have. Good old wing in action. Josh, getting some.
You remember when we were, I think it was also on the way out there. It might have been out on the other side of El Asad, though. But anyway, there was always that one aiming point that was way out there that I think Sparky actually walked all the way out there and checked it. But before we walked out there, we had the Mark 19 on my RG. And they're like,
Yep,
I was like,
I
hey,
remember
I don't remember who my gunner was. Might have been, I want to say it might have been Cormac.
That's Cormac.
He was with me
Yeah.
a couple times.
I had Nathan.
Yeah, I had Nathan with me.
I had Nathan.
with me a couple times, but you had him with you that day. Okay,
Yes, because I remember that distinctly. And
why
what
don't you
happened
walk
with
us through that?
Oh, okay. As long as you ask, Sam. So, Nathan, he loves guns. He's very much into guns, and he was always very excited about the opportunity to actually use one
Mhm.
when needed, right? Well, at that point, was needed. So yeah, there was a berm, and it really looked like a little shack, like a stone.
It was like a couple hundred yards
shack
off the road.
or
A
a shelter. It was way out there. It was more than that. I want to
Okay.
say it was like
Yeah, it was a ways.
400 yards. I mean, that's my memory. And Cormac was just like, oh man, he was like beside himself. He was like, so excited to shoot the Mark 19. Like, got permission to take this thing out, man.
Which is a
full auto grenade launcher.
Yes,
Pretty sweet.
automatic grenade launcher.
I thought
so
I thought we
yeah.
had a Mark 19.
We got it taken away.
And before I tell the rest of the story, I just want to say Nathan Cormican is an excellent marksman and shooter.
He is.
Very good with guns. You know, he really knew what he was doing. That's why he was the gunner. And I trusted him with the gun. But he just wanted, like many, many rounds. And I'm pretty sure they went into Afghanistan. Like, I don't know what was on the other side of that berm. I'm really hoping nothing
An
was on
orphanage?
the other side of that berm. It's just overshot, and then he had to walk him back.
Yeah, usually you walk up to, not over and back.
He was excited, man.
I would have been excited too.
He did okay. He did the right thing. He walked him back, and I don't know. I don't recall,
How many rounds you went through?
you know. Yeah, I just remember that part. It's like, man, I wonder what's on the other side of the berm. He corrected himself. He knew what I was doing. I mean, that's a tough shot.
Yeah.
That was some distance. But
Not if he shoot 1,000.
that's why it's automatic. You
Mhm.
just have to get close to the thing. But anyway, that's what I remember of that. I mean, Josh and I were in Afghanistan.
Now, were
together
you
as
in Dille's
well.
squad? Yeah. How'd that go? How was
Yes.
Dille?
Well,
Were you in Dille's
I was
Platoon squad?
Yes.
You were amongst them, but then
I
you got
was
left
amongst
behind.
them,
Tell me how
yes.
that happened, Jeff. Dille, tell me how that happened.
Isn't that the responsibility of the platoon sergeant to make sure all his people are accounted for? Honest, I don't. You know what? What I will say in my defense is I'm pretty sure I was on leave at that time. Because
I'll take your word
I wasn't
for it.
there when you all physically moved from CAF to Ramrod. When I came back from leave, you were already
That's
there.
Camp Ramrod.
Fob Ramrod. Car Ramrod.
You didn't
Fob
say it.
Ramrod.
I wrote it down.
Yeah. How many Ramrod jokes did we have? But no, you guys moved because I do remember I came back and you were already on Ramrod. So
You left Jeff behind. You left a platoon sergeant behind.
yeah. That wasn't my fault.
No, it's fine. I made it.
I'll take blame, even though I was 1,000, 10,000 miles
So really, what
away
you're saying is you're not taking
at
blame.
home crying.
By
No,
not
I am
taking it?
taking blame from Wisconsin.
That's close to Afghanistan, isn't it? It's only this far on the globe.
Yeah, I mean, on a map, it's just like a finger. You spread your fingers apart like
Okay,
I'm
can
doing
everybody see that?
visually. It's that far.
I mean, they almost put me in a husky again. And that would have made me cry.
You were thinner
Yeah.
though.
But we didn't, did we?
No, Trainberg got in the
I can't picture
husky.
Tranny fitting in a husky. No, he's a beast.
He's not a little guy.
You drove the husky once in a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I was first round for a Husky. Got the formal training on it and realized very quickly I did not like being in the Husky. So I trained as many people as possible on the Husky.
Yeah. Let me train you on this. Come on
Let me show
over.
you this cool thing that I don't have to do anymore.
Yeah, this is like the safest vehicle out here. Jump in.
Yeah.
I think the funniest person to see in the husky was Hubner. When he could not shift the green machine, and he went into roid rage and just was out like a monkey in a cage.
Fighting like the
in
third
that
monkey trying to get on the ark.
Right.
So, I mean, was it claustrophobic?
Well, the green one didn't have any air either.
I mean, but after
Just sitting in a little
didn't
greenhouse
have
in the Iraq
any
desert.
air.
That'd be awesome.
We took as many frozen waters around the
oh,
seat
okay.
as we could. just to stay cool, and that'd only last until like an hour after the sun came up.
That was brutal. I remember the difference between shade and sun in Iraq is not the difference between shade and sun here.
Yeah,
It was crazy. When you get out, as soon as that sun would hit you, it was bacon immediately.
yeah. Well, I told people the highest it got was what 154.
I
At
don't
one
remember-
point when we were over there, that we didn't even want to.
I don't remember. I remember it getting up to like 120s, 130.
The thermometers I saw only went up to 120, so I don't know how hot it got there. It was over 120.
So, for those of you who don't know the people sitting around this table, I just want to tell you a little story. One of them sitting here is Josh Wing. Now, Josh is Vietnamese. Well, he's Asian. He's part Vietnamese,
I'm part.
but he looks very Vietnamese.
And
So our platoon sergeant was a Vietnam veteran in Iraq. And we always wanted Josh to put on a race hat and sneak up on him while he was sleeping, but he wouldn't do it.
Because I valued my life.
because he's not a complete idiot.
We always said we'd go in there the next morning. Clark would still be asleep, but you'd have you around the neck.
Neck.
I would say there was probably like an 80 to 90% chance that he would, in fact, be dead.
Or in a
If
cage.
he did that.
He'd probably keep me as a pet.
I don't even know where to go with that.
He's secretly your real dad.
You know, out of all the...
Smoke your cigarettes.
That's where the white part came from. That was your dad.
Go get my
Get my smokes, boy. Here's a ladder. Go down to the PX. Give me a pack of smokes.
Smoke those, my bro.
Yeah, he was an interesting fella.
But I mean, we do all owe our lives to him
Yeah.
too. He was there for us when
He
we
was.
needed him. So
I know he and I didn't always see eye to eye, but he wasn't a bad platoon sergeant.
No.
not for being an elderly.
You know,
man.
we thought he was elderly, but now that we're 20 years past, he was, what is 54 when we were over there?
54.
Yeah, now I'm
when we went
51
over,
and Jeff's
yeah.
like 62, 63. No, I'm just kidding. 51 and 57. So we're right around the age that Sergeant Clark was in Iraq. Now, that blows my mind.
William Clark. That is.
That's crazy.
Billy.
You call him Billy when you call him on the phone? Out of all the people in our platoon, you were the last one I thought would keep in contact with the platoon sergeant. He got on you all the time.
Oh, I
'Cause
mean,
you're always
every
trying to
once
get
in
his
a while.
goat.
I mean, I just got to call him in.
And he's very particular about his goats.
I think Sergeant Clark.
But he
liked-
did move into the mountains, so I mean, he's out there now.
He liked Josh, and he had to put on an act.
Probably just
Being
felt bad
angry
for
and
my
yelling at
ancestors.
Felt bad what he
That's what
did to your cousins.
Yeah, because he was in the Vietnam War.
Were
too,
you here for the
wasn't
podcast 2 minutes ago?
Josh is
think
just
I
joining
told
us on the
you.
podcast
That's
today.
what we're-
Welcome to the show.
Hey guys.
Just joining us.
Hey guys.
Special guest.
Well, I can appreciate the one time Hubner tried to play a rap karaoke game inside the barracks, and Sergeant Clark shut that down. Our barracks and the barracks next door heard that. That was days of pure gold.
Oh, that is great.
See?
Yes,
Sergeant
he
Clark
was.
there
And
for us.
his room was always dressed right, dressed too. His bunk he didn't, I mean, we all went and got comfortable blankets and stuff that we bought there. He had the army green wool blanket dressed and had his corners
yeah.
45'd and he kept his room pretty strapped.
We could talk about the time when the entire vehicle fell asleep and just decided they were going to stay
Oh,
on,
uranium, that's what it was, right?
uranium.
Uranium, yeah.
Well, and that's why we're ripping in. So you got 2 E7s in that vehicle. Yes. We had 2 platoon sergeants in that vehicle, the active duty one and then us. And then our guys and their guys, and we all leave, and all of a sudden, who was it that noticed they weren't with us?
Well, I think the at that point the wrecker
Yeah.
would have been the last vehicle because it would, they were behind the wrecker, and then it was the wrecker and then my vehicle. So we were the RG in front of the wrecker, and at some point the wrecker noticed there was no vehicle behind them, and I called it up, and then whoever lieutenant, hey, one, whatever I was. That's my vehicle. Why don't you go back and find, see what happened to the Kazvac, the last vehicle. So we turned around and started driving back. And I tell you, we drove a while. Like, it was a while. Like, I don't know exactly how far, but it seemed like we were driving for about 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Like, where did these guys go? Like, did they like drive off into the ditch? You know, we're like getting concerned. And then eventually we came upon them, and it was just like nighty-night time in the.
I remember we got to El Asad. I said to Sergeant Clark, I said, "Hey, you fall asleep?" He's like, yeah, we fell asleep a little bit.
Oh, they were knocked out. It was just like, you know, people with all their heads just hanging.
I mean, there's
against
4
the
people in the
side of the
vehicle.
vehicle. So like, I think was Banfield the driver at that time, or I don't remember, but it was just a bunch of heads leaning.
Usually try to
against
keep
the-
at least one
the
awake,
thing,
like,
and
you know, maybe the
I
gunner.
think- I don't remember if we had to get out or if we just honked at him or yelled at him or threw stuff, but
I distinctly remember Sam, when we were doing training in McCoy, waking me up when I was in the back when we were supposed to be doing a fake route clearance mission. And you woke me up and you kind of burned me, and you're like, you would not fall asleep if there was IEDs out there and everything. Everybody else falls asleep.
If we were in Iraq, you wouldn't be
Well-
falling asleep, would you? Yeah, I would. I'd probably drive off the road, too.
yeah.
Well, you drive off the ravine.
It's biology, man. You're so dead tired, you're gonna fall asleep.
Well, we did go out,
And that's why
almost
we
every
had cases
night.
of rippets. We'd go grab from the chow hall before we went out on mission.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, my favorite, I was saying this last night, my favorite meal there had to be midnight chow, because you went to midnight chow, you had finished your mission, you got back, you're going to get a decent night's sleep. It was just midnight chow hit.
If they remembered to leave it open for you. Because I remember coming back many times with no chow.
You haven't missed many meals since.
Good thing we don't.
I
have
got a
video.
picture of his belly earlier. Just his belly.
Just the
Just his-
belly.
Everything else normal
You're not
size.
even normal size.
I'm fine
I'm
size.
gonna leave that one too. Well, I
Yeah.
am just glad that at least 4 of us got to come here this year and sit down and spend a little bit of time together. Those of you out there listening, you've been through trauma, you've been through war, you've been through whatever your issue is. Stay close to the people that are there to help you. Stay close to the people that care about you, the people that lived it, the people that will understand it. If you don't have that, talk to somebody who doesn't understand it. The important thing is get your story out there. Get it told. Don't sit there and wallow in your own sorrow and think of how bad life is, because if you keep saying to yourself, your life is horrible, that's exactly what it's going to be. So stand up, pull up your bootstraps, get some help, and we're all here for each other. So Josh, Justin, and Jeff, thank you so much for coming back on Echoes Unfiltered and for coming here this weekend to Stratton Springs. I've really enjoyed this. And it's just kind of an impromptu podcast session where we just sat down to BS a little bit. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for coming on Echoes Unfiltered, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All
See
To
you again
another
next
20
year.
years.
See you next year. Bye-bye.
So this wasn't some big conversation. It wasn't polished. It wasn't an interview. It was just a few guys getting together, talking about the times they had, and trying to help each other out. Sometimes healing doesn't look like a deep breakdown or perfect words. It's just you, your buddies, just talking. Telling old stories, giving each other grief, laughing about things that nobody else would understand, and reminding each other that we're still here. And that matters. The truth is, a lot of us carry stuff that we don't say out loud. But when you're with the right people, the ones who lived it with you, the words just come out easier, and something in you settles a bit. This weekend was about brotherhood. Not the Hollywood version, not the glitz and glamour, the real version. The kind built on hard days, rough roads, dark humor, loyalty, and time. So Dille, Riley, Wing, I'm thankful for your time, and I'm grateful for you guys. I'm still glad we're able to sit around, talk trash, rip on each other, and have a few good laughs after all these years. And for everybody out there listening, don't underestimate what it is to check in on your people. Sometimes just showing up, sitting down, and being present is enough. I'm Sam Stratton, and this is Echoes Unfiltered. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if there's somebody out there you know who needs to listen to something like this, send it along. Real talk, raw faith, stay unfiltered, and God bless.